Kia ora tātou, Rawiri Nathan here, and I'm overwhelmed to be sitting in this position because whānau, just last weekend we finished our 6.5 month journey that we started way back in May to lead a healthier lifestyle, to be a better role model for my whānau, and last weekend whānau we were able to finish the 90k cycle league of Iron Māori 2014 in Napier. So whānau, if we go back a little bit to when we started our journey and meeting up with Nathan and Rose from Change Fitness, you know, I had already had a challenge set to me by one of my cousins to, you know, let's go and do this Iron Māori thing. Didn't even know what it was about, and I didn't know if I'll get there. I didn't, you know, that's a huge goal for someone like me, but I knew that I needed to give it a go. And just like with all my kai and all my eating, you know, I always gave everything a go. So I thought, oh well, I'll give this a go. When we had a talk with Nathan and Rose, and you know, these two complete strangers, didn't know them from a bar of soap, I entrusted on my Māori side and the wairua that I could feel with these two people, and I knew that they were genuine, and they didn't want to do it to lift up their own mana and to, you know, to boast about who they were. They were really genuine in who they wanted to help, and they're really genuine in what they wanted to achieve and how we were going to do that. And that's how I was able to, you know, take their hand and take their guidance and start this journey that we did those months ago. So following our first training with Nathan and I, you know, I was able to see that he's a guy that actually walks his talk. He's a guy that, you know, one of the things that stuck to me when we met with him and his wife Rose was that, you know, bro, this is going to just be two bros training, and that's all it's going to be, and that's what it's been ever since. And you know, after that first meeting with him in the gym and after our first training session, I could see this is my bro that we're going to do our training with. That's actually, I think that's actually brought me closer to him, because you know, he's a guy that that opened his heart to me and stuff like this, and you know, he's a guy that's come a long way in his own personal journey, and he's sharing that by being a positive role model to others. And it's not just, you know, not just about him and I can see that he's close to all the people he works with, and you know, that's really important to me, because it shows the whanaungatanga and the manaakitanga that he has to look after and care for his people. I think the biggest struggle for me when I first started out on my journey was my own self-negative talk. You know, sort of, it's easy for me to help out other people. If I know what the kaupapa is and it's all about helping others, you know, I'm there 100%, and I do 100% job to actually ensure that, you know, we finish that kaupapa perfectly. But when it comes to me and my personal things, it's sort of, you know, I try and encourage people, you can do everything, you can do anything you set your mind to, and yet I wasn't able to walk that talk. So, you know, when I started this journey, I was immobile. I'll just walk from the car to the couch and couch to the table and back to the couch and to bed. And so when I met up with Nathan and we sat down, you know, bro, this is what we're going to do. This is the training regime that we're going to look at. And you know, so the first thing was meeting up with him on a Monday morning to do our PT session. Yeah, so one of the first things we done in our first training session was the bro took me into the big group fitness room, and he actually taught me how to walk properly, and we spoke about it in one of our earlier updates. And you know, like I said back then, walking tall is, I've never felt what it's like to walk tall and walk proud and walk confident, and now it's second nature to me. I said to the bro, could I have a look at going and do body attack? And he goes, oh, that's pretty, you know, you need a lot of energy for that. So I just went and had a go at it, and well, that was like a whole new world for me. And so I went from body attack to, and then I go, whoa, what about this? And I go, whoa, I'll go and do body combat. And then towards the end of our journey, now as we're getting towards the end of November, I was going, oh, I might then do a spin class. I went in to do some RPM, and you know, it was awesome. I felt awesome. I knew I I could last the whole session, and that was the biggest buzz for me, was lasting a whole hour at body attack, and then jumping into body combat, and then doing a 45-minute spin class, whereas when I started I couldn't even last 10 minutes in that spin class. So you know, keeping up with everybody else. And then on top of that, we, you know, I went down to do the run group, the Change Fitness run group, and that was a different experience. And first off, I only done the Mondays, which was our long walks, and then I go, oh, the bro goes, oh, can I get your commitment to come down to run group and, you know, do the whole run group Mondays and Wednesdays? And then so I went down on Wednesdays and they do interval training, and that was really cool, and I really liked that. I really liked the fact that, you know, even though I was just walking those, and I was doing 200-meter intervals, and I was only just walking, I could see that we were timing it, and I was getting faster and faster, and I was only just walking. And one of the big, you know, the big huge successes for me in the run group was I was able to get to, I think it was around 11.5 minutes, and that was for my 1.5K walk. The bro took us out to Malling, and, you know, just to have a little test of our bike, and I rode from Malling to Belmont, which is only 1 kilometre, but it felt like the whole 90 k's. And I got to Belmont, to the lights at Belmont on the river trail. You know, I only just made it up this little hill on the river trail, and I was going to myself, I only just made a 1k. How on earth am I going to get to this whole 90k buzz in December? But you know, getting in with the ride group on Sundays, and, you know, going out with Rose and Vicky and my partner on Saturdays cycling, you know, climbing up Wallaceville Hill, climbing up Blue Mountains Hill. Man, it's just awesome. I love riding, actually. It's really, yeah, I really love riding. It's so awesome. I'm free. I feel like a bird. I can fly anywhere. You know, that was all cool, all my training, but I did hit a wall. I think it was about maybe 8 to 10 weeks into our training. You know, I went to the gym, you know, still ready to go for a thing, and I said to the bro, I don't have the energy to do anything. I want to do it. My head's telling me, you know, get out there and do it, but my body's telling me, bro, just have a seat and sit down. And, you know, we had a good corridor about it, and the bro reminded me where we had come from. He goes, bro, you weren't doing nothing when we started this. To now you're doing 6 days a week, you know, different types of training and swimming and walking and all of this stuff. So your body's actually telling you it's okay to have a rest now. And, you know, and I said, wow. So I had a rest for the rest of that week, and then we got back into it after that. So about I think it was about 2.5, 3 months into our journey, Nathan introduced me to my nutrition coach, Vicky, and, you know, I was actually quite anxious and quite scared, actually, as to who this person was, and what is she going to get me to do, and, you know, how is she going to get me to eat. Because, you know, when you look at some of these programs on TV and they talk about these nutrition coaches, they're actually quite they come across as being quite strict. You know, when I met her, she came to work, and, you know, she sat down and she goes to me, Ra, what is it that you like eating? And I was a little taken back by that. I was going, hang on, you're supposed to tell me what I should be eating. You're supposed to tell me that this is what you eat, this is the plan, this is what your diet's going to be. And I learned quickly from her that she goes, now what I want you to do is that I want to give you stuff that you like to eat, and then I'll put in some other stuff in there. And, you know, that was the first thing that I actually really loved about Vicky, and the support that's come across. You know, the fortnightly catch-ups. Every time we met up at Run Group, you know, she would ask me how things were going, being receptive and being there to, you know, I'd ring her or I'd email her or I'd text her and I'd say, hey, this guy's not working, can you look at this? And she'll come back, she goes, okay, swap this with this. And, you know, one of the things was, I love peanut butter, and I used to put, you know, tablespoons of peanut butter on bread. But what Vicky done was she put that down to, you know, she goes, one of the examples was she used rice crackers, you know, plain rice crackers and with peanut butter, and oh, that was the best part of my day, eating rice crackers and peanut butter. So in the week leading up to our event, you know, I was feeling quite confident. I was feeling at ease about what's happening, and then Friday came around and we left home to go on our, to start our journey up to Napier, and I could feel the nerves coming in, and things were still okay. I think I still had it under control, and then we got to Napier, met up with Nathan Rose and the Change Fitness whānau who were already up there, and I picked up my race pack, and it really got real for me then. Tomorrow, bro, you're gonna start this 90k cycle league. On the Friday night, woke up the next day, I actually kept on waking up because I thought we were going to be late, because we had to start a little earlier than everyone else, and I'd look over to the bro Nathan and I go, oh no, he's still asleep, so that's alright, I should be alright. So I went back to sleep again, and then he came and woke me up, and all these emotions hit me. I was outside and the bro gave me some kai for breakfast, and then for some weird reason I started crying. My auntie came over and in her army way gave me some support. But yeah, the emotions just overtook me, and actually they were with me from the time we left the marae, right down to the start line, with myself and Nadine in the car, and my biggest fear was that I had all my whānau that came, I had my sisters that come from Australia, and all my whānau that travelled all this way, hundreds of kilometres down to Napier, to support me and to support us in our event. And I was really scared that I wasn't going to make it. So whānau, here we are at the start line, the bro and I there, and we had my whānau come down from the marae, some of the whānau come through, and my dad started us off with a bit of a karakia, and then the bro and I set off on the start of our 90k cycle league, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty good to get out there. Actually, it was finally, you're here, bro. This is what the whole last 6.5 months have been about, all leading up to this point here, and all you got to do now is get back to where you started from. The bro and I we were just talking like we were on a training ride, and man, it was awesome. I felt really good. I could see how the training, leading up to the day was paying off. I got some new cycle shorts from Iron Māori, from the whānau at Iron Māori, and I could feel actually how the benefits of wearing proper clothing. We climbed the last hill, and it was a long steady climb up the hill, and then we got to the crest of that hill, and then the bro goes, look over there, bro, to your left. He goes, there's the finish line. And it was only about 8 k's when I go, whoa, we're almost here, bro, we're almost here. We're in our 80th k here, and all of us is downhill along the flat, and getting back home, and see cyclists pass you and they go, keep it up, keep on keeping on, you're doing awesome. And then things started, and then I started crying again. I don't know why I was crying again. I wasn't going to show the bro that I was crying, but I don't know, the emotions just got to me. It's going, boy, you're going to do this. You're going to finish this 90k. Yeah, so we came around the last corner, and you can see the marshals up there, and they were waving their flags, and I thought they were waving it to speed us up, but they're actually waving it to tell us to get off our bikes because we're at the finish line. And I could just hear, it was quite surreal, because you could hear your name but you couldn't hear where it was coming from. You go, way to go, Dawidi, and yeah, I knew that we had conquered a big hill that day, and the last 6.5 months they all culminated into that, into that last 30 seconds. And we're walking up there, and could hear one of my nannies yelling from the side. I could hear my brothers and sisters and my cousins and nephews and nieces yelling to the other side, and it was all a bit of a blur, and I sort of had to get some guidance from the bros to what we were doing in that transition area. And we crossed that, so we walked up this long part of the transition area, then we turned around, come back through the finishing chute, and yeah, I couldn't stop smiling. I was overwhelmed that I actually got to my finish line, and then I heard my brother start a haka up, And then, you know, I could see my stepdad, you know, I couldn't see everyone because it was so much of a blur, but you know, I saw my stepdad in there doing the haka, and I saw my dad in there doing the haka, and you know, I saw all my whānau in there doing the haka, and you know, I had to think twice, because I was going, they're actually doing this for me. This is how they're showing their aroha for me, and that, you know, that was a big moment for me. I've done haka for other people, but I never thought that, you know, that I'd ever have my own whānau do the haka for me. And yeah, they done it for me and the bro, because we crossed the finish line, and you know, it was awesome. And then I could hear, you know, when we finished the haka and we're only a few meters away from that finishing shoot, you know, could hear Heather from Māori talking about us getting home, and I was going, yeah, we're home. So finally, what started off as a dream, you know, the Finishers 90k Cycle League turned into reality, and we started this journey, you know, this whānau journey, you know, to be a better role model for my whānau, and you know, also for me to get onto a healthier lifestyle, and you know, to be able to walk tall, and be able to influence my whānau, and you know, show them that you know we can do this. But I realised that it's not just, you know, it's not just my whānau that I've been able to influence, and you know, through sharing this journey, and you know, sharing everything with you, I know that I've influenced a whole lot of people for a whole lot of different reasons. And you know, whānau, that's the biggest thing that I could see out of this journey, is being able to share this with everyone, so that you know, you take out what you want from it. And you know, the journey's not going to end here for me. There's a whole lot of new challenges that I've got, you know, that I want to set for myself. But the biggest thing for me, whānau, is that, you know, find that person out there that believes in you, for you. You know, there is that person out there for you. They may not be exactly like Nathan Martin in the Change Fitness whānau, but there is that person out there for you. And you know, by you taking that first step and getting that person who believes in you, you'll just keep on going forward, and you'll just keep on keeping on. You know, whānau, you also have to, you know, get that person out there who believes in you, and also have someone at home that believes in you. And for me, that's been my darling Ngāti. You know, she's been there through thick and thin. You know, we've had our heated conversations about certain things, and you know, I wouldn't have been able to start this. You know, I had the bro there with me, I had Nathan with me, but I wouldn't have been able to start this this whole journey if I didn't have her right next to me, and you know, right beside me, and you know, sharing all the little take that I had to go through, and you know, all the positive talk that she had to put me through, and go, hey baby, you know, you just gotta, you know, just try this out and we'll see how it goes, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else, and we don't do this, you know, try this. And that's, you know, that's what I've also enjoyed about this journey, is that it's actually made my partner Ngāti stronger. It's made us stronger, you know, so strong whānau that it, you know, through this journey I was able to, you know, build up the courage to ask her to be my wife, and lucky for me, she said yes. And you know, I know that, you know, I had the bro there with me, but you know, having that support at home, and having that person there with you, and share the highs and share the lows, and cry with you and cry for you, you know, that's yeah, that also will help you get to your finish line. And you know, for me, that's you know, love is the greatest thing of all, and my partner Ngāti epitomises that unconditional love for her partner. She loved me when I was a big fella. She was a bit scared of me losing weight and getting on this healthy lifestyle, but you know, she's just pushed me the whole way through, and it's awesome for me to be able to share this journey with her and get her to lead on some of the stuff that we've done. So whānau, I'd just like to thank some people who's helped us along in our journey. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Les Mills Hut City, Cycle Science and ISUPS. Thank you for all the support that you've given me. You know, you've made this journey easier by, you know, giving me all that support over the last few months. So, you know, I appreciate all of that and all of the aroha that you've given me in our journey. So whānau, what this journey has taught me is that anything's possible, you know, as long as you take that first step. And because of that, whānau, I've set me some new challenges. So in 2015, I'm going to do the individual half Ironman at Iron Māori 2015 in Napier. And a longer term goal for me in 2018, I'm going to turn up at Taupo and do the Ironman. So whānau, you know, this journey's only just begun, so keep on keeping on.